All right, so are you ready to unlock some serious brain power?
I know it.
Because today we're diving deep into ways to seriously supercharge your learning.
Yeah.
We've got your notes and a super fascinating YouTube video by Jim Kwik,
Oh, yeah.
a renowned brain coach.
Mm.
He's got tons of tips, and we're here to pull out the most exciting and useful ones for you.
It's really interesting how Quick's approach goes way beyond just, think positive.
Yeah,
He gives us concrete steps to actually, rewire our brains for better learning.
I love that. So he starts by talking about brain energy.
Right?
And it's like you wouldn't put cheap gas in a Ferrari.
Oh, no.
Right.
Definitely not.
Your brain needs premium fuel, too.
Yeah.
And he has 10 recommendations to boost that brain power.
Wow, 10.
I know it's a lot, but we're going to focus on the ones that will have the biggest impact for you.
That makes sense.
So working smarter, not harder.
Right.
Totally.
Mm.
Okay, so first up is diet.
Okay.
Now, we've all heard that eating healthy is important,
Mm.
but Quick gets super specific here.
Oh, does he?
He does.
Okay.
He actually points out that refined sugar
Oh.
has been linked to messed up brain function
Oh, really?
and even
Oh.
depression.
Wow.
I know. So, there's actual science behind it.
That's scary.
Yeah, I know. I'm definitely going to think twice before grabbing a donut now.
It's fascinating how the human brain actually needs 45 different nutrients to function at its best.
45.
Yeah, 45. And, while our brains make most of those themselves,
Wow.
the rest have to come from what we eat.
Oh.
So are you getting all your brain food?
That's a good question. I might need to check my pantry after this, but okay,
Yeah.
let's move on to exercise.
Okay.
And before you roll your
Okay.
eyes, this isn't just about fitting into your jeans.
Right.
Quick explains that exercise actually helps the hippocampus,
Hmm.
the part of our brains responsible for memory,
Yeah.
grow bigger.
Really?
And get this, even just 10 minutes a day can make a difference.
I think the link between physical activity and brain function is amazing.
Yeah.
When you work out, your brain literally creates new pathways.
Wow.
Like imagine building new roads for information to travel on in your brain.
That's a really cool way to think about it.
Oh.
Now let's talk about something a little less tangible.
Less tangible.
Yes. Our thoughts.
Hmm.
Quick has this concept that he calls killing ANTs.
Killing ants.
Not the bugs, no.
Okay.
This stands for automatic negative thoughts.
Ow.
You know those thoughts that pop up and tell you you're not smart enough?
Oh.
Or you'll never be able to learn that new skill?
Ugh, those ANTs are the worst.
I know they can totally sabotage your learning.
Hmm.
If you're constantly telling yourself you're bad at something,
Yeah.
you're practically guaranteeing that you'll struggle with it.
Right. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Right. So Quick suggests we get really good at noticing those ANTs when they show up,
Yeah.
challenging them,
Okay.
and then replacing them with positive affirmations.
That's good.
He even suggests creating a to-learn list to keep your brain engaged and focused on growth.
I love that idea. When you're learning new things, it keeps your brain young and adaptable.
Okay, now on to another big one,
Yeah.
especially for all the learners out there.
Mm-hmm.
Sleep.
Yes.
We all know we need it.
Yes, we do.
But Kwik explains that sleep is crucial for memory formation and even for removing toxins from our brain.
Oh, wow.
I know. He calls it brain laundry.
Brain laundry.
So it's like your brain is literally cleaning itself while you sleep.
And the scary part is not getting enough quality sleep has been linked to a higher risk of Alzheimer's.
Oh.
So it's not just about feeling tired, it's about protecting your brain in the long run.
Wow, okay. I am definitely getting my 8 hours tonight.
Me too.
So to recap, we've got diet, exercise, and sleep.
Yeah.
These are the foundational pillars for a healthy brain.
Exactly. You can't build a house without a strong foundation, and the same goes for learning.
Now, Kwik also talks about the importance of having a positive peer group.
Okay.
And he's not saying ditch your friends, but he does suggest finding people who inspire you and support your learning journey.
He has this great quote where he says, "We are the average of the 5 people we spend the most time with."
Oh, that's good.
It makes you think about who you're letting influence your thoughts and habits.
He totally does.
Okay, so we've covered fueling our brains with the right food, exercise, sleep, and even surrounding ourselves with the right people.
Wow.
I know.
That's a lot.
Now this is where things get even more interesting.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Tell me more.
We're going to dive into quick, specific techniques for actually learning faster and remembering more.
Oh, that's awesome.
Right. So
Yeah.
buckle up because it's about to get really brain boosting in here.
All right, I'm ready.
Okay.
Welcome back. We left off talking about how important it is to build a strong foundation for learning with things like diet exercise and a supportive community.
Yeah.
But now we're going to get into some of Kwik's more specific learning strategies,
Okay.
starting with his concept of small, simple steps. He calls them S3s. Okay, I'm intrigued. Tell me more about these S3s.
So Quick's idea here is that lasting change doesn't happen overnight.
Right.
It's all about building momentum with small, consistent actions.
Okay.
Like instead of trying to overhaul your entire study routine at once,
Yeah.
maybe you focus on just adding one new habit, like
Yeah.
reviewing your notes for 5 minutes every day.
I can definitely relate to that. I always get overwhelmed when I try to change too many things at once.
Right.
Yeah.
And Kikwick actually ties this into a psychological phenomenon called the Zeigarnik effect.
The what?
Zeigarnik effect. It's this idea that unfinished tasks tend to stay on our minds.
Okay.
Ever start reading a book and then find yourself thinking about it even when you're doing other things?
Oh, all the time.
Yeah.
Especially if it's a really good book.
Exactly. That's the Zeigarnik effect in action.
Wow.
And Quick suggests that by breaking down big tasks into smaller chunks,
Yeah.
we can overcome that feeling of being stuck or overwhelmed.
So instead of saying, I need to study for this huge exam,
Right.
I could say, I'm going to spend 20 minutes focusing on this one chapter.
Exactly.
That feels way less daunting.
Right.
Yeah.
And the more you practice breaking down tasks and taking action, the easier it becomes.
Okay.
Quick says we should be aiming for about 40–50% of our actions to become automatic.
Wow.
It's all about building positive habits.
So habits like a good morning routine.
Yes. Kikwick has a specific morning routine he recommends that's full of brain-boosting strategies.
Ooh, I love a good morning routine. Tell me everything.
Well, one of the most interesting parts is he actually takes time to reflect on his dreams.
Oh.
Yeah. He believes our dreams can offer valuable insights into our subconscious.
That's fascinating. I usually forget mine as soon as I wake up. Maybe I need to work on that.
It might be worth a try. Kigwick also emphasizes starting the day with hydration and those brain-boosting foods we talked about earlier.
Okay, makes sense. It's all about setting your brain up for success from the moment you wake up.
Right. And he also recommends taking a few minutes each morning to plan your day. It doesn't have to be super detailed, but just a general outline of your goals and priorities.
So like a roadmap for your brain.
Exactly. It helps you stay focused and avoid getting sidetracked by distractions.
That's good. So we've talked about small steps and creating positive habits.
Yeah.
Now, where does flow state fit into all of this?
Flow state. This is where Carrick gets really exciting. He describes it as the ultimate learning zone. That feeling of being completely absorbed in a task where time seems to melt away.
Oh, I love that feeling. It's like you're in the zone and everything just clicks.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Carrick says there are 3 key ingredients for achieving flow state.
Okay, what are they?
Clear goals,
Okay.
the right level of challenge,
Okay.
and immediate feedback.
So it's kind of like finding that sweet spot between being bored and being totally overwhelmed.
Exactly. And all the things we've been talking about, having the right mindset, feeling motivated, and using effective learning methods, these all help create the perfect conditions for flow state.
It's like you're building a launch pad for your brain to blast off into a super focused learning session. I'm ready to give it a try.
Me too. And here's the best part. Carrick says flow state isn't something that just magically happens.
Right.
It's something we can cultivate through practice and intention.
Okay.
He suggests figuring out what activities bring you into flow,
Yeah.
and then making time for those activities more regularly.
That's a good idea. Okay, so now that we've got this awesome foundation
Yeah.
and we're ready to hit that flow state, what's next? How do we actually learn faster and remember more?
Well, that's where Quick's accelerated learning methods come in. He's got some really cool techniques for improving memory speed reading and even thinking more creatively.
Okay.
Are you ready to dive into those?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's unlock some serious brain power.
Yeah.
All right, let's unlock those accelerated learning methods.
Okay, so Carrick jumps right into memory.
Okay.
And he starts by debunking this huge myth,
Okay.
this idea that some people are just born with good memories and others are stuck with bad ones.
I've definitely fallen into that trap myself, thinking I just wasn't a memory person.
But Quick is adamant that anyone can train their memory to be more powerful.
Okay.
It's all about having the right techniques, and he has got a really fun one to share.
Okay.
It involves turning information into vivid stories.
Wait, so instead of trying to memorize a list of random things, I could create a story that links them all together.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He gives this hilarious example of trying to remember a list like fire hydrant, balloon, battery, barrel board, diamond night ox toothpaste sign.
Oh my gosh, okay. That sounds impossible to remember.
But if you picture a fire hydrant with a balloon tied to it,
Okay.
and then the balloon is filled with a battery,
Okay.
and that battery rolls into a barrel,
All right.
you get the idea. You're creating this crazy, memorable story in your mind.
That's brilliant. The
Yeah.
more outlandish the story, the easier it would be to remember.
Exactly. And Kwik explains that this technique works because it engages different parts of your brain,
Yeah.
making the information more meaningful and therefore easier to recall.
So if I'm trying to remember a grocery list or key points for a presentation, I could try weaving them into like a wacky story.
Absolutely. You should definitely try that.
Okay, Now let's talk about another essential skill in today's world.
What's that?
Speed reading. Imagine being able to absorb information from books and articles at twice the speed you normally do.
Oh, that would be amazing.
Right.
Yeah.
And Kwik doesn't just talk about reading faster. He emphasizes the importance of comprehension, too.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Okay.
He recommends a few practical techniques, like using a visual pacer,
Right.
like your finger or a pen, to guide your eyes across the page.
Mm-hmm.
So this helps prevent your eyes from jumping back and forth, which slows you down.
That's a good tip.
I've noticed myself doing that when I'm tired or distracted.
He also suggests pre-reading questions
Okay.
to get your brain thinking about the topic before you even start reading.
That's a good idea.
And another interesting tip is minimizing subvocalization.
Subvocalization.
You know that little voice in your head that reads along as you go?
Oh yeah, I definitely do that.
It turns out that can actually slow you down quite a bit.
Really?
Yeah, by silencing that inner voice, you can process the information more efficiently.
So we've got memory techniques and speed reading down.
Yeah.
What about thinking itself?
Thinking itself.
Can we learn to think more effectively?
Absolutely. Kwik introduces this concept called thinking hats.
Thinking hats.
Yeah, where you approach a problem from multiple perspectives.
Okay.
It's about putting on different hats, so to speak,
Oh.
to consider the facts, the emotions, the risks, and the benefits of a situation.
So instead of getting stuck in one way of thinking,
Right.
I can force myself to look at it from different angles.
Exactly. And that can lead to more creative and well-rounded solutions.
That's good.
Kwik also talks about the power of exponential thinking.
What is that?
It's about thinking bigger and bolder,
Okay.
moving beyond incremental improvements to find solutions that can create massive change. He uses the example of Navin Jain, an innovator who tackled the global water crisis. Instead of focusing on increasing water availability, Jain targeted the inefficient use of water in agriculture,
Oh, wow.
which has a much greater impact.
So it's about looking at the root of the problem and finding a solution that can really make a difference.
Exactly. And Kwik encourages us to always ask ourselves, what would a superhero do? How can we think outside the box to find solutions that have a lasting impact?
I love that challenge. It's so easy to get stuck in our everyday ways of thinking.
It is, but Kwik reminds us that our brains are incredibly powerful and adaptable.
Yeah.
We can learn and grow at any age. It's just a matter of having the right tools and techniques.
This has been such a fascinating deep dive.
It really has.
We've covered everything from fueling our brains with the right foods and habits
Yeah.
to mastering accelerated learning techniques.
Right.
It feels like I have a whole new toolkit for becoming a better learner.
Me too. Remember, knowledge is only powerful when it's understood and applied. So what stood out to you the most from today's episode? What action are you inspired to take?
Kwik left us with that thought-provoking question.
Yeah.
What bold action will you take today to unlock your full potential?
That's a good one.
And I think that's a great place to leave our listeners as well.
I agree.
It's time to take all of this incredible information and put it into practice.
Absolutely. Start small, be consistent, and remember the journey of becoming a limitless learner is an exciting one.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Yeah, thanks everyone.
And don't forget to check out the show notes for links to all the resources we've mentioned. Until next time, keep those brains firing.